Let me start with, this is a very different topic I am going to attempt to talk, and I thought it is appropriate and it is important for us to see how this human and technology coexist, how are they going to connect with each other. I was listening to a video of Dhanam 2023, and a gentleman, Mr. Shyam Srinivasan, during his speech, he spoke about a mobile device as 79th organ of a human body. I'm going to dare and make yet another statement. Now this AI agent, or a digital assistant as I call, is not 80th organ. It is a human being by itself. Now for a convenience sake, for next few minutes, let's call it as people. Okay, so all these digital assistants, let's call it as people. Some of you here would have PAs, personal assistants. Some of you will also have EAs, executive assistants. But I can guarantee you that if you have used any of the chat GPTs or Geminis or any of these assistants, each one of you have DAs here, and the DAs are your digital assistants. And I'm going to talk about it today. I already said that for the sake of convenience, let's call it as people. And when it comes to people, also comes a fun. Last week I was in Europe. I was traveling, I was on an airport. I tried to use Forex card. I was trying to book my ticket on the airport because of rebooking. Card didn't work. It was a midnight in India. I said, who do I call? My RM is sleeping. I'm not going to pick up my phone. I said, no, but you know what? There is a chat bot on my bank's website. So I went there, started asking questions. Now here is the fun. You will say, what is the fun in having a chat bot on a bank's website? Everybody here has that chat bot. But let me tell you, it took me 8 minutes before I could speak to a real human being. 8 minutes. We need to ask him question, identify yourself, your email ID, your phone number, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand. I was already agitated. I was already frustrated because my card is not working. I'm standing in front of the airline counter trying to swipe my card and get my ticket. And then I realized it's not that chatbot's fault. It's because that bot doesn't have emotions. And that's where we start talking about humanizing these digital assistants. It's very important that those emotions are transferred the moment we identify them as a people. Sometimes technology scares. I mean, if you look at probably last decade, we were really scared about search engines. God knows what are they collecting. Now with these agents coming in, we no more cared about what search engines are doing. Now we cared about AI. We are scared about the agents. But that's not really true. I mean, we can't really get scared of these digital people. And for a simple reason that we are human beings. We tamed elephants. We tamed lions. We tamed all animals. So what is big deal about this technology? Let's tame the technology rather than getting scared of it. And for that, we need to really understand the human characteristics. What are the characteristics we as human beings? We have a cognitive and emotional skills. It means we have high intelligence, we have creativity, we have self-awareness, we have curiosity, we have range of emotions. And we also have a social and behavioral aspects of it. We have empathy, we have communication, and that's where the key of humanizing these digital assistants start. I was a kid. Thankfully, I belong to a family of bankers. My mom worked for State Bank of India for 38 years, retired. My dad worked for IDBI. My uncle worked for yet another public sector bank. I worked for a bank. So we have a legacy of this banking, and you know what, I mean, I was a child, my daughter never came to my bank, but when I was a child, I used to go with my dad and my mom in vacation in the branch, just to see, have fun. And I realized that that is the place where somebody walks in, my dad was on a counter, and somebody said, "Beta paisa hai kya?" Now look at this. Can you ask this question to a bot today? What that pensioner probably was looking for, did I get my pension? And my dad was smart enough, getting the clue from the question, beta paisa hai kya? He said, ha, your pension is already credited on the first. Now look at this, what is this happening? There is a communication, there is a conversation happening between two people. And that's the conversation we are talking about. If you have ever heard a gentleman called Manthas from IBM, he has a very interesting way. He brings in a view saying that we are trying to view engineering problems to solve non-engineering problems. So we are trying to marry both of them, and that means we need to go further there. And let me tell you something very interesting. I am a practicing design thinker. I've been design thinking has been my practice for last 8 years, 9 years, and we try to empathize with things, follow the process. As a Coligo, we have been here for last 9 years. But the newest child we have is iBanker, which you saw. When we are building that iBanker, I said, no, nothing doing. We're going to lay down some design principles around that, and we want to start humanizing this agent. What did we do? We created a personality because we call it as people. So now that means that people need to have a personality. That people need to have a persona. I need to infuse an empathy into that digital people. I need to have a data-driven emotions coming out. I need to have a natural communication by which people will interact with this new agent, and so on. And of course, trust, transparency are given. They are the fundamentals of any of these digital persons. So what we did is, we created something where you can talk like I'm talking to you. You can ask a question. Do I know who is the top agent who collected my most collections today? Simple English. Do I know who breached probably geofencing today? Simple questions. And the agent is trying to remember this, and based on that trying to give you an answers. And that's where the difference is. And that's where I believe that humanizing all the digital agents start getting into an action and start becoming a reality. I will tell you one more part of this. There is a project called Project Sparsh, and there is a gentleman from MIT called Suranga. What he is trying to do is, can I really make technology look like a human? So for example, and he does this experiment right on the stage. Take a tilak, kumkum. How do we apply it? Tap it and tap it. Can I do, so it's copy paste, right? You are copying something and pasting it somewhere. Can I go to the extent where I copy paste like this? I am a mentor to one of the startup called Bindu. They help building some agents for visually impaired people. And fantastically, the camera, a phone helps a visually impaired person to hold a camera and tell, are you wearing a great combination? You look great. Because you are not wearing a green trouser and a yellow shirt. Or you are not wearing a red t-shirt and some other color. So that emotions are actually coming out of that agent. I was also part of one of the CEO conference, and we had asked this question. So we said, who are we? CEOs, everybody said. What do we want? AI. Okay. What does this AI do? We don't know. Lovely. When do you want this AI? Right now. So that's how AI has been around us. But what we are trying to do is make this human in loop model. And that's what we are adapting. What does it mean? Let these digital assistants create a capacity. Let this human use their wisdom. Let agents build the trust over a period of time. And humans can focus on creativity and explore new areas to deploy them, getting that work for them. And as we go ahead, let me probably take a pause here and leave you a thought. My AI is not going to be your AI, so is your AI not going to be my AI. For a simple reason, one human being is not as same as other human being, So don't expect even the digital assistants to be same. And that's where I'll take a pause today. Thank you very much. You have been a wonderful audience. And I want to really thank Dhanam for organizing this event. And most importantly, I want to thank all of you who are here to appreciate all the speakers coming even after a wonderful lunch here. So thank you very much. Have a great evening. Thank you.